Hey, what is going on YouTube? It is me, TG here, back with another video, and today, guys, was a pretty red day in the market. Not a huge red day, but it was a significant red day. Dow Jones dropping 0.58%, S&P dropping 0.66%, and the NASDAQ dropping 0.8%. So, little recap of what happened today. Banks reported earnings, some good, some bad. Two of the stocks that were bad, Wells Fargo and Bank of America, both dropping over 5%. Wells Fargo actually dropping 6%. And Goldman Sachs actually had pretty good earnings. And I predicted Goldman Sachs doing pretty well because they are an investment bank and they don't have as much, risk as some of these other banks do with some of these small business loans and, tons of foreclosure, collateral, risk management. A lot of those, which is, can eat away at profits, whereas Goldman Sachs is an investment bank, has a lot more profit margin than some of these other ones. So they obviously went down today, and I went ahead and took advantage of that, and I went and sold some puts on Wells Fargo. We sold 9 cash-secured puts at 23.5, and we got an average credit of 30 for it. So obviously, I could have got 39, but 30 per is not terrible. $271 to buy Wells Fargo at 23.5. I do find this a little bit of an overreaction, and I do think it's going to bounce back nicely. So we'll see what happens. 6% in one day on a bank is a lot, especially on a bank that has been having a really rough year. As you can see, lost over half of its value in the past year. And obviously that is a lot COVID related, but it's also overreaction. And you have to realize that when, some of these sell-offs happen, they go way overboard. People don't want that risk. And I know I can see banks are not a great sector. I wouldn't put them in the same category as something like oil, because we obviously still need banks and banks are always going to be here and they're going to constantly make money. But I would not put them in the same category as something like oil. But banks also have a really big potential to boom. And the reason I say that is because as of right now, banks are not allowed to do stock buybacks. And that's a huge way banks make money for their shareholders is by doing stock buybacks and having pretty good dividends. Right now, they're allowed to give dividends, but they cannot do stock buybacks. The Fed has came out and said banks are not allowed to do stock buybacks until further notice. So they're going to be meeting again in about a month or so to discuss whether or not they are allowed to do stock buybacks in the next quarter. If they are allowed to, you will probably see a lot of banks taking advantage of this and doing these stock buybacks to bump up their stock. Right now, their stock is down. All bank stocks basically are down almost half from where they are. If we look at another classic one, Bank of America, one of the biggest banks in the country, its 1-year chart is down, not as much as it was, but I mean, it's down pretty significant. Was sitting up in the 34s and now it's 23. A couple other ones, JP Morgan, which is a little better poised for this type of, climate, but it's still down, 138 to exactly 100. And then obviously Citigroup down almost half as well, probably because they've had a lot going on. Yeah, up from being up in the 80s to now being 43. It's almost half of its value right there. So as you guys see, banks have been taking big hits, but you know what? This could be a great opportunity to get into Wells Fargo at a very, very cheap price. If we look at how Wells Fargo acted when COVID initially happened, it went to as low as like 25 and then got even lower down to 22 in May. And it recovered right back again into the 30s. And then it's kind of hovered around, mid 24s, mid 23s. And now we're sitting at low 23s right now. So we see any sort of vaccine news, any sort of updates on banks being allowed to, do stock buybacks, some stimulus. This thing could roar right back into the 25s like it was. And, that's a pretty good percent play from where it is now. So I sold some puts on it as you guys saw, and I'm, fully prepared to hold it if I have to. We also sold some silver puts, we're up on that. And we also sold a lot of Workhorse puts. Now, Workhorse continued to go down a little bit today, but our puts actually went up because we used theta. So Workhorse finished $22.95. Not bad. We're, up $130 on these puts that we're on. So we're just going to keep holding it, let theta do its trick. And that'll diminish these two right here, the 22 and the 22.5 put, since they are out of the money. Unfortunately, the 23.5 put is in the money, so we are not up much on that, only $41. But our break-even point is $22.28, and it is $22.95. So we're still good as of now. We're just going to hold Workhorse. I said we like Workhorse, and we think that that sell-off over the United States Postal Service contract being delayed was just a bit of an overreaction. Also, we have a ton of American Airlines puts that we sold, and American Airlines did basically nothing today. It went up a tad bit and then went back down after hours. So basically nothing really happened today on American Airlines, but we are up $42 on the puts that we sold. So not bad. We're just going to probably let those expire. And then we also made a play today on Apple. We went ahead and sold 2 puts yesterday on Apple. And as we locked in profits today on them for about, I don't know, $150 almost. Let's see. 200 minus like 53 right there. So not bad, not good. Or 51, my bad. So we made $149 in profit on those. So not bad at all for a one day play on Apple. Take advantage of it going up in the morning and just getting out, locking in profits and freeing up collateral, then using that collateral to then sell a bunch of Wells Fargo puts. So overall, the day is not bad. You know, we lost $208. It's not a big deal. We're going to let these things expire, and hopefully that everything has a nice rebound. And that's being down 208 despite being down 477 on Amazon today, because Amazon did go down some. So overall, not a bad day. Plays were made. As you guys can see, we have a ton of puts that we sold on here, and we're just taking advantage of that. And we're going to watch things closely, see how everything does. But probably the next stock I'm going to be watching most is going to be Fastly, because Fastly in the past 5 minutes just, dropped off of a cliff, down 26%, because they went ahead and provided their preliminary guidance for Q3, and it wasn't as good as they thought. They're expecting now to do 70 to 71 million as of 73.5 to 75.5 million. So not that big of a difference, but clearly the share price took a hit because of it. I think it's a little bit of an overreaction. I'm going to wait till it goes in the 80s. If it goes in the 80s, I will sell some puts on it. But until then, I'm just going to be watching it closely and seeing what happens. So, it's wild right now. I'm going to let it cool down a little bit. And probably tomorrow, if silver goes up, lock in some puts on that, or lock in some profits on that. Hopefully American Airlines as well, and Workhorse will cooperate and go up, and we can lock in some good profits. But those are the plays that were made today. I'm going to be looking out for Fastly. That's probably my next play I'm going to be, exploring into, depending on the price action and everything. But that's what I'm going to be doing today. And, we're just going to see what happens. So overall, not a bad day. Could have been a lot worse, but, we use it to make plays and lock in profits. So I feel like that was a good play we made today. And, tomorrow's a new day, so we'll see what happens. But as of right now, that's the only thing on my radar. As of right now is just Fastly. So we're going to go ahead and try to close out some of these positions, or maybe even just let them expire depending on how I feel about it. I feel like Workhorse is bound to rebound. Had 2 really, really bad days in a row, so we'll see what happens. Same as American Airlines. But like I said, I don't mind owning Workhorse at 23.5. I don't mind buying American Airlines at 12.5. So we'll see what happens, guys. But overall, I think we should be fine. And I feel like this dip was a great buying opportunity to sell some puts. So anyways, guys, let me know what plays you guys are making in the market and what you guys want to see, and what you're looking forward to in the market. So I'm looking forward to making a play on Fastly potentially, and looking forward to Workhorse having a nice rally so I can lock in some nice profits on that, because we have a lot of premium to collect in Workhorse. So anyways, guys, that's really about it. Decent day overall, good plays made, and we're poised well for the end of the week. So anyways, guys, if you liked the video, remember to like and subscribe. Discord server in the link below if you want to join and see these trades I'm making in live time, so you can follow me. And like I said, just have a wonderful day, and I'll talk to you guys in the next video. Have a wonderful day, guys. Bye.